Hello students, this is Shahnaz Ansari, your social science teacher. Welcome you again in social science class. So today we will discuss the second part of the chapter When People Rebel, 1857 and after. So let's start the chapter with the important topics which we are going to be discussed in this part, and these are suppression of the revolt, causes of the failure of the revolt, effects of the revolt or aftermath, and last we will discuss the conclusion. So student, as the sepoys began the revolt, princes and other people also joined them. So very soon the rebellion spread throughout the northern and the central India. The revolt met some early successes but was eventually suppressed by the British within a year. New laws were passed by the British government so that the rebels could be convicted with ease. Many British officers showed exemplary military skills in suppressing the revolt. Finally, in September 1857, Delhi was recaptured by the British. Delhi was recaptured by the British in September 1857. The last Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was tried in court and sentenced to life imprisonment. His son was shot at before his eyes. Bahadur Shah Zafar himself exiled to Rangoon, where he died in 1862, bringing the grand Mughal dynasty to an end. The recapture of Delhi, however, did not mean that the rebellion died down after that. People continued to resist and battle the British. The British had to fight for 2 years to suppress the massive forces of popular rebellion. The British had to fight for 2 years to suppress the rebel. Rani Lakshmibai was killed in Gwalior. Tatya Tope escaped into the jungles of central India and continued the struggle with the help of the tribals. He was captured and after a hasty trial he was put to death in 1859. Nana Sahib and Begum Hazrat Mahal fled to Nepal. Lucknow was taken in March 1858. Many other leaders of the revolt were also dead by 1859, the year in which the British again established their authority over India, just as victories against the British had earlier encouraged rebellion. The defeat of rebel forces encouraged desertion. The British promised the rebels that if they surrendered and had not killed any white people, they would be safe. However, many rebels, landlords, sepoys, and even nawabs were killed by the British. So, students, here we have discussed all the efforts used by the Britishers to put down or break down the revolts of 1857. Now, we will discuss the causes of the failure. The revolt of 1857 was undoubtedly not a success, but though it had failed in its objective of defeating the British, this was the first time when Indians unitedly fought against the British power. So here are the some causes. The first is the revolt failed because it lacked leadership and organization. Means there was no leader to guide and command. The rebels did not possess modern weapons. There was also lack of the discipline as compared to the well-trained and well-equipped British troops. The revolt failed to spread to all parts of the country and large section of population did not support it. It was not spread in all parts of the country. Many rulers and zamindar remained loyal to British and helped the British in suppressing the revolt. The educated class zamindar and moneylenders were against the revolt. Who were against the revolt? Educated moneylenders, zamindars. The educated people thought that the British government was bringing about reforms and progress which was good for the country. There was lack of unity among the rebels. They were joined together by a common feeling of hatred against foreigners, and when the British power was overthrown from their area, they did not have any forward program. They were confused. So there was confusion about the objective of the revolts. So these all were the causes of the failure of the revolt. Now we will discuss what were the effects of the revolt or aftermath. The British rule realized that in order to continue their rule in India, reform in the British policies was needed. They could not risk another revolt. So here are the some changes were made. We will discuss the changes were made by the British. By the end of 1859, the British has regained their control over the subcontinent. The consequences of the revolt of 1857 were very important and made an impact on the British power. They could not continue the same policies. So what were the changes in the policies? Here, that is, according to an act passed by the British Parliament in August 1858. In August 1858, the company rule came to end. The responsibility for administration was taken up by the British Queen, and the Parliament. The title of Governor General was changed. He came to be known as Viceroy. That is a personal representation of the Crown. So, Indian administration was taken over by the Queen Victoria, which in fact meant the British Parliament. The Governor General office was replaced by that Viceroy. The Indian princes were assured that their territories would never be annexed. So they were allowed to pass on their kingdoms to their heir, including adopted son. However, they were made acknowledge the British Queen as their sovereign paramount. Thus, the Indian rulers were to hold their kingdom as subordinate of the British Crown. It was decided that the proportion of Indian soldiers in the army would be reduced and the number of European soldiers would be increased. It was also decided that instead of recruiting soldiers from Awadh, Bihar, Central India and South India, more soldiers would be recruited from among the Gorkhas, Sikh and Pathans. The Hindus and Muslims had fought together during the revolt to free themselves from foreign rule. Now the British tried to destroy the unity and adopt a policy of divide and rule. The British decided to respect and not interfere with the religious and social practices of the people in India. The sacrifices of some great Indian rulers during the revolt of 1857 aroused a feeling of nationalism among the Indians. The leaders of revolt became heroes. The revolt became a symbol of challenge of the mighty British power in India. The Mughal dynasty and the Peshwaship came to an end. Queen Victoria granted full religious freedom. Indians were given assurance that high post would be given to them without any discriminations. Policies were made to protect landlords and zamindar and given them security of the rights over their lands. So it was a new phase of history began after 1857. Now it's time to conclude the chapter. As the revolt met its tragic and bitter end, it has been given various names like the Great Rebellion, Indian Mutiny, Sepoy Mutiny, India's first war of independence, national revolt and so on. British historians have dismissed the uprising in 1857 as nothing more than a sepoy mutiny. The Indian historians termed it as the first war of Indian independence. They justify this by the argument that it was a fight against injustice. Its objective was to throw the British out of India and terminate the colonial rule. The rebel wanted a country-wide rule under the Mughal emperor. So, the revolt of 1857 was an important milestone in our freedom struggle. It gave hope and inspiration to our freedom fighters. The Indian Rebellion of 1857 was a major but ultimately unsuccessful uprising in India in 1857 and 1858 against the rule of British East India Company, which functioned as a sovereign power on the behalf of the British Crown. But the Great Uprising of 1857 was an important landmark in the Indian history or the history of the modern India. The revolt marked the end of the East India Company's rules in India. So student, this was our chapter when people rebel. I hope you all have understood very well. Now it's time to say goodbye. So thank you for watching my video. Bye. Take care.